Bueno amigos, ahora sí vamos con el video de Rintrack y espero que este personaje me sorprenda porque bueno, la verdad no lo hizo. Y bueno, vamos a ver su Deep Dive. Ok, este personaje que se parece mucho a Mcoc, ¿no? También va a ser místico. Ok, ok, rupturas. Como tigra. Ah, va a dejar también enraizado. ¿Qué? Oye, ¿qué? ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo que 411k? ¿411.000? ¿Qué carajos? Ok, iniciamos recontra bien, ¿no? Wow. Ok. Interesante este místico. Por lo general los místicos no pegan tan fuerte en el especial 2.
Enters the contest with an always active base 30% energy resistance and
Ok.
20% critical resistance.
Parecido también a
Incoming
Mango
armor
esa
break
parte.
debuffs have their potency reduced by 50% each for each other armor break already on Rintra.
Claro,
Minimum
contra Terra sería buena
potency is
opción
0.
por la resistencia energética, ¿no?
Rintra gains increased attack rating per active armor break on him. Now, whenever either champion lands a hit, Rintra has a 60% chance to inflict a non-stacking passive neutralize. This lasts for 3
Claro.
seconds and reduces their buff
Eso de ahí
ability
es muy bueno
accuracy
porque
by
quita todas las
100%.
mejoras.
If the opponent is cosmic or superior, Rintra inflicts passive neutralize for 5 seconds instead, decreasing their buff ability accuracy by 200%. Now, while the opponent's back is against the wall, if Rintra performs a light attack ending combo, he'll inflict a root debuff on himself, lasting 6 seconds. While rooted, Rintra becomes
A
unstoppable.
ver. Esa parte no entendí muy
He'll
bien.
inflict a root debuff on himself, lasting 6 seconds. While rooted,
Ok.
Rintra becomes unstoppable, inflicts taunt on the opponent, and increases energy and critical resistance
Ah,
by
claro, el
1%
enraizado,
per
¿no?
mystical charge. More on those in just a moment. Also, while rooted, Rintra cannot move, but he can still attack, block, and dodge. If either champion strikes with a light attack while rooted, Rintra inflicts 2 rupture debuffs on the opponent. All Rintra's ruptures
Buena,
deal
buena,
physical
buena.
damage over 15 seconds. Now, he can end root early, inflicting 5 rupture debuffs by performing a heavy or special attack. When root expires,
Ok, deja muchas roturas por lo que veo, ¿no?
cooldown for 12 seconds.
20 roturas, wow.
Rintra also has Mystical Charge, where each time the opponent is inflicted by a neutralize effect, he gains 1 Mystical Charge. However, when the opponent fails to gain a buff because of neutralize, Rintra gains 2 Mystical Charges, maxing out at 20 charges. Now, if Rintra's back is against the wall, while having 10 or more mystical charges, he'll gain an unstoppable passive for 6 seconds when he's struck or blocking an attack. Also, his special attacks will become unblockable. Continuing with the 10 or more mystical charges, if either champion strikes with a light attack, Rintra inflicts 1 rupture debuff. Also, when landing a successful heavy attack, Rintra pauses all
43
personal
roturas, pero
ruptures.
no hace tanto daño, ¿no?
When inflicting a rupture debuff, this will start a 15-second timer on your mystical charge. On expiration, Rintra loses all mystical charges. Now, when he has 15 charges or more, Rintra becomes stun immune.
Ok, inmune al
And
aturdimiento.
with 20 charges, when the opponent activates a special attack, Rintra becomes rooted until the special attack ends. This root has no cooldown. If Rintra is knocked down, he loses 5 mystical charges. Now, let's
Ok,
check
cuando
out
es derribado
special
pierde 5
attacks.
cargas.
The Special One
Ok, especial 1.
grants Rintra 1 mystical charge.
Ok, le da cargas.
Also, each hit has a chance to neutralize, which also adds another charge. If he has 10 or more mystical charges, the last hit grants a Fury passive granting increased attack rating for 10 seconds. With the special 2, on activation, Rintra pauses all ruptures on the opponent for 4 seconds. The final hit gains increased attack rating per
174.000.
rupture on the opponent.
Un rango
Removes
5.
all ruptures, the mystical charge timer, and all mystical charges.
Wow. Ok, especial 3 tampoco lo he visto.
The special
Oh,
three. At
está
the end
bueno.
of this attack, the opponent is placed with their back against the wall. Also, Rintra heals for 1% of missing health per mystical charge. Now, let's check out his signature ability.
Ok, a ver su dúplica.
When awakened, Rintra gains Never Back Down. This is a passive ability, where every time a neutralize prevents a buff, a power gain buff is gained, granting 10% of max power over 2 seconds.
Ok,
Maxing at 3 stats.
una copia de poder muy fuerte, la verdad.
Also, while unstoppable, Rintra passively regenerates up to 3% of missing health from strikes or blocked attacks from the opponent.
Ah, se va regenerando.
Let's take him out for a spin in the champion rotation. For shorter fights, push the opponent over to the wall and launch your special 1 to build up mystical charges.
Ok, la rotación.
Make sure you gain
Ganamos las
those
cargas
ruptures
místicas
while rooted. Next,
para dejar la mayor cantidad de roturas, ¿no?
build up to your special 2. Now, the real trick here is making sure the opponent's power meter is low enough after you bait them, for you to trade enough blows to build lots of ruptures when you self-root. Next, counter the opponent with a light attack ending combo to root yourself in place, and trade light attacks to build up rupture stats. Before root
claro.
expires, launch the special 2 to cancel root and immediately gain 5 additional ruptures.
A ver, a ver, a ver.
If this attack happens to be critical, be prepared to
Ooh.
smile. Now, let's check out some best uses.
Está muy fácil, ¿no? De ocupar.
Rintra's easy access to neutralize will fuel his mystical charges on nodes like Resistor, while his signature ability grants those potent
Y encima tiene una copia
buffs.
muy bestia.
This goes for all areas where encountering a large number of buffs, like explosive personality. Speaking of buffs, unstoppable buffs are definitely on the list, giving you a leg up on nodes like Footloose.
La verdad que ese personaje me está gustando bastante, no lo voy a
Find
mentir.
yourself up against the champion. Not only will rooting yourself come in handy,
A ver, a ver, a ver, a
but
ver.
neutralizing those unstoppable buffs
Uy,
will serve you well in the
50 y
fight.
60
Now,
roturas,
these
what the
aren't
fuck.
the only uses for Rintra.
Ah,
Let's get creative. Sound off in the comments where you think his
Uy,
best
qué buena,
uses
¿eh?
are in the contest, and let's discuss. Now, let's check out some notable
ok, sinergias. Por ahora le doy un 10 de 10.
Mystical Realm. With
Ok.
Dormammu or Vision Arcus on the team, Rintra starts the fight with 5 mystical charges.
Ok, esa está buena esa sinergia.
Light attacks have a 30% chance to add 10 detonation charges.
Bueno, dormamos, nadie lo usa.
Debuff damage is
Arcus, a ver.
increased by 50%. Live and die by the horns. With Mcoc, Rhino, or Purgatory on the team, Rintra gains a 30%
Quiero ver si que
chance
tiene
to
una sinergia con
rewind
Doctor
any
Strange,
ruptures
la
by
verdad.
the special 2.
Uy, qué buena, ¿eh?
With Mcoc, he gains 10% attack rating per stagger on the opponent. With Rhino, he gains 25% critical rating when unstoppable. And with Purgatory, class souls last an extra 2 fights. No sword left behind. With Taskmaster, or Captain Britain on the team, Rintra increases neutralize duration by 1 second. With Taskmaster, the duration of his exploit weakness passive is increased by 5 seconds. And with Captain Britain, every time a debuff is purified, she deals a burst of energy damage to the opponent equal to 25% of attack. Unacceptable.
A ver,
With
modo.
Mcoc on the team, on the last hit of Special 1, Rintra inflicts 4 Rupture debuffs, dealing 15% of attack as physical damage over 15 seconds. With Mcoc, critical hits pause all personal incinerates and bleeds on the opponent for 6 seconds.
Ah, está buena para modo que esa.
Synergy that caught your attention? Thinking of a new synergy team?
Mira ese
Let us
especial
know your
2.
thoughts down below
Wow.
and let's discuss.
Bestia.
Thank you for watching this champion deep dive for Rintra.
La verdad que me ha parecido muy bueno.
Are you
Básicamente,
Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and if you
básicamente su estilo de uso sería dejar la mayor cantidad de roturas en el rival y especial 2 para que haga más daño, ¿no? La verdad que está muy fácil. Especial 1, especial 2. Muy buen personaje, la verdad. Lo veo como un nuevo místico que entra al top 5 de los mejores místicos. Y pues ya, amigos, esto fue todo. Y la verdad que ese personaje sí vale la pena. Y pues ya, ¿qué más les puedo decir? De que tenemos unos nuevos grupos de WhatsApp donde van a poder unirse, van a poder buscar alianzas, hacer amigos. Y más que todo para enterarse sobre lo nuevo del juego. Y pues ahí les dejo el enlace en los comentarios. Y bueno, eso sería todo. Y yo los veo hasta un siguiente video. Chau, chau.